chair. Hello.
Look at this nerd streaming nerd stuff. Only nerds would watch this. Oh, wait.
Welcome in, Willow, Mac, Abram, Al, Theron. Hope you're all doing well. All you nerds are doing well tonight. Just a bunch of nerds, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So. Guess this is... that's fine. Alright. So, battle... Oh, that's not going to know the spawn point. Never mind. Fanny Slam, welcome in. Thank you for lizards. Lizards. Only if. Then. Okay, there we go. All right. So tonight's checklist, we need to finish the bomb explosions, and then we need to start the snakes. Cannon effect not emitting, so they want to put that if cannon effect. So where we are now, thank you for these lizards. There's a lot of lizards here. Okay, so here's where we are now. We have a bomb. And the idea is that we can hit the bomb to knock it a little bit over. We can hit the bomb again to knock it even more over, and then it'll explode. There you go. Just a tiny bit. When do the cannonballs spawn? When do the cannonballs spawn? Because if they spawn right before the player's turn, then you pretty much get a freebie to just bonk it twice and be done. But if it spawns right before the enemy turn, then the enemy pretty much gets a freebie to deal damage to you. That doesn't seem fair either. You know what I mean? Huh. Ooh. So when do we... how do we get these fairly on here? It's like in the midst of a fight, it makes more sense. If you can't immediately... Or maybe it should be launched right next to whoever's side it's going to be. Like if it's about to be the player's turn, put it on the player's side so that they're immediately on the defensive and immediately have to take action and do something with those bombs. Versus, yeah, like maybe that works well. Okay, so when there's one bomb, we just position it right up against the player. Immediately give them something to deal with. But when we start doing multiple bombs, we can be a little bit more fair. Because then they have the choice of like, do I kind of evenly distribute pushing the bombs away from me? Or do I take the risk and just get one of these bombs way into their side and just hope they don't hit this one back? That, something to be concerned about is that there's not much going on if there are 2 players and 2 enemies, and they each get 1 turn, and they just do, and it's just a very boring game of tennis until somebody gets bored from the boring game of tennis and decides just, all right, you know what, I'm just going to attack you directly. I need something that puts a little bit of pressure on you to get creative with your attacks. What can you do against these bombs? Detonate is not going to work. They're not Molma's bombs, so she can't just immediately detonate them. Maybe the bombs just don't deal a ton of damage. Like it's not a whole tide turner. It's more like 3 damage to everyone on that side. Which at this point in the game, that's decent. Especially because there can be multiple bombs out on the field, and then you really got to be ready for that. Yes. Maybe if, let's see here. How do we work with this gimmick? The enemy can hit all of the bombs, maybe? If there's like a single enemy, that'll definitely put some pressure on you. Well, that'll just encourage you to just deal with one bomb at a time. Maybe if the enemy doesn't even care about the bomb, but something targets the bomb. That might be a way to kind of even it out a bit. Because I don't want the enemy just targeting bombs and doing nothing else. Okay, so how about the enemy has some random attacks to choose from so that you never know exactly how far the bomb is moving. On average, I feel like I want the enemy to be doing more, but what moves do you have at this point in the game that can really push forward? I guess you'll have your special moves. The big attack everything move would be great. Bach, thank you for the posy party. Oh, actually, you know what? I should have the game up, shouldn't I? Or else nobody's going to be having anything fun to look at. There's some pigs. I don't actually know how many enemies we're going to have. I'm thinking maximum 3 over here, because the bomb is already a big thing. This is just the round to kind of whittle you down a bit before the actual fight. Okay, so enemy can either attack frontline, attack random, or maybe it's just, you know. Frontline only is boring, of course. Well, what happens is once you get it far enough to one side or the other, it explodes. So the idea is that it's a reverse tug of war. How would this work? Yeah, this will not work well because look at that, the target stays there technically. Give me a pig. Give me a pig on a train. Give me a pig on a... Give me a pig in a cave. Give me a level 2 beak barrage. I can't afford level 2 beak barrage. Give me a ridiculous amount of power. There we go. Give me a slowdown so I can actually target this well. So it's gonna be the target, isn't it? It is, yeah. We want the target to adjust. Yeah, maybe the idea is every time you clear out the bombs, more bombs appear after your enemy's next turn. Yeah, you don't have a lot of area effect to help you out here. So an item would be huge. If you have a tennis ball, that's major. But otherwise, you have very little in the way of attacks to help. Okay, so in order, let's work on Beak Barrage. Yeah, here we go. So we're looking for target. Oh, it's the action command that does it, isn't it? Oh, that is tricky. Targets have positions. Bird up position. Yep. So I want to have some kind of refresh position, maybe? No, I don't think I do. Could we refresh the position every time? Targets. Targets get set up where? Player moves. Right here. The targets get appended, but those must get. We must be able to determine best index. Here we go. Best index is get results. Huh. Okay, with -2 meaning that we didn't do well. So we're just returning the index back to the list of enemies. So, see, that's not great because we don't pass in the battle manager. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. This needs adjusting, I think. Wait for condition. Result not equal to -1. And what do we do with that result? We look in the targets. We ignore dead targets. And then we do the whole thing again, where we start a new command. A whole new action command, but with the same targets. I kind of want to throw in the, well, I want to throw in the units. I think. Oh, do I? As the actual targets here that are being targeted. I don't know if this is going to go well. This may be prone to bugs here. Reposition targets. All right, so we're going to reposition targets every frame because who cares? So we're going to look at our targets. And then we're going to change their position. Unit equals units sub index. Don't worry about it. And then target dot x equals unit dot actor dot x. Is there any way this works? We're gonna find out. Oh, immediate failure. Units is empty. Ah. Okay, only do it once we haven't there's one frame where we haven't populated units yet. Or actor.position.x, sorry. You got me there, you got me there. Oh, target also needs position.x, huh? Right? Right? Is that how that works? Yeah, probably. Okay, here we go. Yeah! Now it follows. But that's very... Yeah, that's very... Okay, I need to confirm that target is instance valid. Yeah, that's really, really specific, isn't it? Can fire. So when you land, X distance. Oh, max range. What's our max range? 0.3. Let's make that 0.4 to make that move a little bit more powerful, a little bit less particular. Or maybe we should be changing the speed of the arrow as well. Timer times 3.0. Timer 2.0. What would that do? That's going to slow it down pretty significantly, right? Maybe 2.5 is what we want. That's fine. Yeah, you aim for a crowd and you're in good shape. Okay, yeah, if you have this move, that's going to help you out a lot. Big if. I think we need a move where you can just fire a little bit of damage on everything that we can find. Move to fire at all enemies. Small damage. Some kind of timing command. I don't know what that would look like. Kind of a... Yeah, we'll see. That's to do, but we don't have to do that right now. Right now, we just have to make the bomb blow up. All right, bomb explode. Right here. So currently, this thing's no longer a valid actor once it gets beyond 1.2. Is that accurate? An easy way to find out. Okay, can you hit the bomb? No, you can't because it doesn't exist. Good. Okay, so this is getting called. So in order, I guess, explode seems reasonable. I guess just replace it with a poof. We probably got. Yeah, look at this. Hey, PK. Poof enemy. That's almost what we want. Okay, so we want poof. Okay, so do that. I need the actual scene name here. We're just going to create it and ignore it. It'll delete itself, which is great. We love that. Create that. Battle action dot. After we create it, also make a noise. I think our explosion sound is pretty loud, though. Let me mute desktop just in case. I'm worried about this. It's pretty loud. It's pretty loud. It's pretty loud. Firecracker makes... Well, it is the same, but just with a higher pitch scale. Pitched by 3. Maybe that would work then. This is 2 octaves, which might be good enough. I want to delete the sprite. So I just need to pass it in an array containing the sprite, which is going to be source.actor. And then I need to deal damage. Let's add a slight delay, not a full second. I'm thinking like 0.3 of a second. And then we need to queue hurt actions multi. No blocking this damage. Flat damage. Flat damage, piercing, what else? It will wake up the target if the target is asleep. Doesn't care about the source power, yes. Ignores target defense, yes. Unblockable, yes. All of these things. All of these flags. Amount of damage, I'm gonna say 3. Okay, let's explode some pigs. Let's see if this works. This is our first thing on the to-do list that we can knock out nice and easy. Just hit it again. Amount of damage doesn't matter. All right, that was a pretty sad explosion sound. Let's bring it down quite a bit. That works. I'm okay with that, I think. It does everything it's supposed to do. 3 damage is enough that it's advantageous, but you don't have to be focusing the bombs if you want to try to attack directly. It leaves it open to the player to decide how to approach the battle. That's good. That's what we want. Okay. Done with that. Now we need Snake. There he is. Yeehaw. We are going to give him maybe a bounce move like Slim has with the wind up. So he's got a wind up move, a jump move, and a landing, which looks like that. If we give him those 3 animations for Snake Actor, we can use the same thing. I don't know why he would use that, but it could be handy. So sure, let's do that. So for that, we need to figure out how doable that is. We need to point the animation player towards the animation. Wait, no. First, we need to bring up GitHub Desktop and check in Bomb Barricade. We don't want to lose those changes in case something goes terribly wrong. Check in early, check in often, right? All right. Okay. Pretty good, pretty good. So these animations were wind up, which is a 1.5 second and ends with him squished down. .5 second, no loop, end with him squished down. Move animation player to animation canvas so we can work with this. So what do we got? Different body parts. Okay, so we have that body, which in turn also has head. Okay, okay. Those are going to be left alone. Okay, so these would be the 3. Is the base itself, body, and then head. Let's start with head. We're going to scale it down a bit. And we'll give him a little wiggle. .8. Let's go 0.9 because this is going to compound. body scale. Hey, Liari. Yeah, I think what we can do is actually bring it back up to 1 as well. As he's squishing. So maybe like this? How does that look? Yeah, because then he's kind of like... kind of a little wind-up Jack-in-the-Box style squishing happening. And then this. Go crazier on that. Okay, just have to have him kind of wiggle a little bit like this guy does when he's getting all squished up for a big attack. So to manage that, we need to do a little bit of rotation. Yeah. So take this rotation and wiggle it. 5 degrees? We'll try 5 degrees. Yeah, sure. I'll take it. Actually, no. It's too much. It's too much. We're gonna go 3 degrees. Oh, not this one. 3 degrees and negative 3 degrees. But then we're also going to do a wiggle for the head. Like that. All right. And then he's going to do... Okay, so that's 1. The next animation we need is jump. 0.4 seconds is plenty of just in the air. All right, so reset. New animation. Jump. 0.4 looping. Oh, purple concrete. I love purple concrete. I think this would be tail rotated. Not that much. That actually is reasonable, believe it or not. Base is rotated. It could have been orange. You never know. -8. Head rotation. Can I get a hat wobble? All right, that's him in the air. And then the last one is a weird one. Landing. 1 second animation, sort of. It clears up at 0.3. and then he springs back up. So he holds it, he squishes, holds it, and then it's a looping animation. Landing for 1 second, 0.3 being the main point of note. That's very similar to wind up, so I'm gonna duplicate that as landing. It was Charizard. Yay. That's great. That's great. So let me say this was 1 second, but 0.3 is the squish point. 1 second, but 0.3 is where we squish completely. Total squishage right about here. Whoa. So then we're gonna hold that for until 0.7. That'll work. All right, there we go. Redirect that back to the sub viewport. Make sure that these can work in 3D. Something's not right. Sprites container, sprites container. Why? Why do you do the things you do? Dot animation canvas. So stupid. So stupid. Show in file manager. Open with notepad. All this dot animation canvas stuff. It's not supposed to be directing to that. 15 matches. Jeez. Okay. Replace them all. Save. Close. Pull the snake back up. Now let's try it. And we're good. Great. Oh, he probably does. He probably does, Willow. Okay, so now he can just use this same move with no edits to this, which is very nice. Very nice when we can have two things use the same move. So we want to go into enemy directory. And make our new enemy. Snake Bandit. Well, of course not. What are these guys going to be called? Cobra. Look up types of snakes. Garter. List of snakes by common name. Adder. Adder? Python, boa. What I'm looking for is a pun. We're naming this snake enemy. I'm gonna try and pun up together a type of snake with something associated with Wild West Bandit. I was thinking their little group could be called the No Armed Bandits because there's a little bit of a you know, there's a nod to Slim's gambling theme there. Let's see here. Cottonmouth, corn snake, rattler. He doesn't have a rattle exactly. I mean, we could just focus on the gun, the pop gun. But I don't want to have the word gun in the script, you know. Got to get that E rating. That won't be official at all, but will be there in spirit. Let's see here. Keelback, King Cobra, So that's a tricky one right there, but I get what you're going for. Mud snake, night snake, viper. I mean, he's not a viper, obviously, but no, yeah, it's good. Spitballing is good. That's how we arrive at the right ideas. Python. Python. Rattle. Battle snake. Bootleg. Oh, if he only had a boot. Let's see here. Okay, so the really, in my opinion, the common names that you're gonna have are the cobra, viper, rattlesnake, asp, but wrong kind of desert. Yeah, boa constrictor. What else we got here? That's like the most common ones. Not like common snakes, but things like, oh, you go on the $10,000 pyramid or whatever it is, and they're like, okay, types of snakes. That's the ones you're gonna name out. Rattlesnake is, I think, the most apt. Let's see here. Let's get a rhyming dictionary. I mean, battle. Cattle, no. No good rhymes. No decent rhymes for rattle, unfortunately. Snaky McSnakeface might be the one. Diamondback. Cork. What can we do with cork? Copperhead. Popper. Copper. Diamond. Oh, man. I feel like there's like a really high quality but very high effort pun in there. Let's see here. Okay, looking up some synonyms. Yeah, they're in a gang. But like they are cannon fodder. Like these are a bunch of Goombas. It's not like this is Goomba Phil and this is Goomba Tom. Bandito. Venom. Coil. He's not really, I mean, he's kind of Morbius. Desperado. Outlaw. Coil. Let's see. Pop. Cork. Are there famous snakes? Lead adder. And then people read it as lead adder. Mythological snakes. Snaky McSnakeface, I believe. Theron's. Let's see here. Theron's OC. Yeah. Cork. Let's see, maybe we can like slam 2 words together, get a little portmanteau. Cork, pop. I mean, I could go with rattle popper. That doesn't sound good. Rattle cork. No. I'm just gonna call him Snake and be done with it. Rhymes with snake. Not anything great here. Cork gun. Clutch McCoy. Named after famous Wild West outlaws. Go with a pun there. Which would be great if, I was naming each of these individually, but they're all going to be the same enemy type. And I mean, they can have a name in universe. Billy the yeah, these would all be for yeah. I just need something to call the enemy when you. This is just going to be the name that appears when you hover over them to know, which thing you're targeting, and will also appear in like the scan log. Let's see here. Ouroboros. Oh. I call him Stick Up. Because he's vaguely stick, but he's a snake. Battlesnake might be what we go with. I don't love the battle connotation because that, to me, brings to mind like I'm gonna put this guy in a suit of armor. Yeah, I think we just go with Battlesnake for now. If we come up with something better, Rustler. What about Rustler? Snake in the grass, rustling, maybe? It's like it feels weak. It's pretty weak. It is. So obviously we have to throw a horse in there somewhere. Like, they said I had to come with them because I don't know. It just felt right. Here I am. They're not too bad. All right, snake actor. Ooh, HP mount. Okay. This is going to be tricky because these guys are meant to be mostly here just to kind of whittle you down before the fight. Originally, I was thinking, this can be like, we can have a save point after phase 1 into phase 2. I want this to last decently long since we're giving you all these bombs. I don't want this to just drag on and on. But if I'm making the bombs worth 3 damage each to all enemies, then you're going to be able to use them for a total of like 18 damage if you get all the bombs on them. Assuming we get 1 bomb, 2 bombs, 3 bombs. So this could be more of like a puzzle fight than anything else. Also, maybe you fight some of these guys before the first Chapter 3 fight. Oh no, Origami King. No, puzzle fight in the idea of like when you face off against a healer and a big tank, you focus the healer first. That's the puzzle. It's like, okay, I mean, yeah. It's not a huge puzzle or anything, but there's a strategy to it. I'm gonna say 15, I think. These aren't the boss. That's the important thing to remember. These guys are not the boss. I'm not gonna let them give you any XP either. You're gonna get XP from the actual boss fight. No response moves. They're gonna use Slim's jump move as a basic, just so we can have something for them to do. Three of them? Is 3 too many? Let's find out. Is 3 too many? They're sinking into the ground ever so slightly. Okay. So right now they can attack anybody, because that's their only move. Boom. See, there's 3 damage right off the bat. And the idea is that that'll keep coming. That's a really awkward timing, which is intentional. We're in chapter 3 here. You're gonna get some tough stuff to deal with. So you're gonna use up a lot of resources here. Oh boy. Okay. I mean, there's more bombs at this point, assume. Don't attack Cat. All right, we're good. I was a little early. Cat's fine. She's fine. Look at me, I'm actually having to use moves. Admittedly, I'm under-leveled here. Don't need his health as much. Okay, oh dang. I just need her. Okay, that's better. Nice. That is tough to block. The thing is, once the bombs are out, any attack that is grounded is only going to be targeting bombs. So that one doesn't need to be... Oh, good. Oh, we gotta fix this now. Okay. That's why I intentionally went with that move on him. Okay. All right, so that's doable. That's doable with 3 enemies coming at you. This is just gonna leech a bit of resources. Force you to use some of your energy in the early stage of the fight, and then you come in a little bit like, all right, I'm not doing great, but here we go. Let's do the real boss now. Okay. So now let's give these guys a new move. A pop gun move. They're little pop guns. Okay, good. We can remove the cork. So we need to give them a little move where they aim, fire, cork gets launched, deals damage to the target, whatever the target is. That's a ranged move that is going to require... I'm going to say that's first grounded enemy. Well, yeah, first grounded enemy only. So let's move the animation player to point to the canvas for animating so that we can do this in 2D. And we're going to do new animation, fire, pop gun. What does he do? What does he do? He does a little wiggle. Does he do a little wiggle? Do a little... Or we do a little bit of this. Oh, actually, that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun, right? So let's have him lean back, like he's getting his sights set on you. As much as we can reasonably manage without breaking the outlines severely. Let's really... oh, come on. Really make him look forward to this happening. We also want to raise the tail. Yeah, definitely. Oh, this will be good. This will be good. I like this already. Tail goes up. And I think the gun is a separate... Yeah, gun has its own rotation as well. So we can also lower that accordingly. So take the gun and aim. Ready? Aim. I want him to kind of give it a little wiggle here. You know, it's kind of lining up your shot. Line up your shot here. He's entirely too steady-handed here. Can we get a little bit more wiggles going on? I don't know how much. I'm just kind of playing it by ear. Yeah, something like that. Sure. Then a little bit more. A little bit more is good. Come on, show me some real wiggling here. Yeah. Okay. And then pop. Right there, we're gonna do the. Let's line it up to the 2.5, so it's easier to sync that with everything else that's going on. So we're gonna turn off the cork's visibility here. make sure it starts on. Pop. And then we need a bunch of very, very sudden, you know, we need to get some good kick on it. So we're gonna go very sudden. Gun rotation. Oh, see that there's a problem there. It said it's gonna do that little thing because of the easing, right? Maybe that's the wrong way to ease it. It does feel like it's incorrect. Is this the one I want to mess with the easing on? I don't actually get the easing yet. I will get it someday. See, that seems to lock it in so that as soon as it goes there, it's locked in that way. But this, I feel like, should be the inverse then. I don't know. Well, let's just, yeah, we'll figure it out. We need the body rotation to kind of like really fling backwards a little bit. And then back to normal here at the 3-second mark. Let's similarly get the head back to normal here. Tail needs a really good... Wow, whammo. Okay, and then tail comes back to normal. Oops. I feel like it comes back to normal a little too easy. Posey. Posey, please. That's pretty good. Okay, what does that look like? That's decently convincing. Gun needs to become visible again, or the cork does at the end, and that's fine. Okay. Pow! Yeah. That looks all right. Honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I feel very, very proud of myself. All right, but does that stay in bounds? Does it stay within the bounds of the sub-viewport for flattening the image? Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I need a good cork sound for that. We're going to look one of those up. Okay. Excellent. So new move. Pop gun. CX. Pop gun is first grounded. This is going to ensure that it can target a random bomb in the middle of the battlefield. I thought it was. Change animation. Fire pop gun. Then wait for 2.5 seconds. And then we're going to create our thingy bopper. Yeah. Then we need to make sure we wait. 1,000. We're not going to need all that. We need to create a sprite similar to this. So we need a what was the cave mite rock? This right here. Pop cork. Put that into our snake folder. So this is going to be really easy to set up. Doesn't even need any rotation or anything. Okay, pop cork. Pop cork. No animations. I just want snake. Cork. There we go. It's beautiful. All right, so create sprite. Path, set it at the, maybe at the starting position. Where does that need to get created? Let's find out. Right about, how far is that? Like 0.3 towards the target. And then upward is about 0.6 maybe. Okay, so create the sprite. Then we need to move the sprite. We can just tween it, right? We're gonna make it, I'm gonna make it pretty fast because it's got a long wind-up time. It's got a pretty long wind-up time. Fire Tween, I think, works on Sprite Holder. Yes, it does. Good. Okay. Then we're going to wait after firing the tween for the launch time. Milliseconds, 300. Then we can queue hurt damage. This will just be 2 damage. That's fine. Does it need to be 3? We'll figure something out on that. Queue hurt damage and then delete sprite list. Clear out that cork. And then we're done. Let's get rid of this. Pop gun, add it to the enemy's move set. Let's let's take the jump out temporarily so that we can see the move. Ow. Ooh. Nice. Ow. Okay, that's really good. I think we need a good cork sound next. Cork pop. CC0 licensing. Popping cork. That's too real. It's too hollow. That's really good. Maybe if that one was slowed down. I like that one a lot. Let's see here. No. Terrible. Huh? Lower, maybe. Pretty good. Okay, what was this one that I said was good? That's got a really, really good sound to it. I like that one a lot. Let's grab that one. Let's compress that down. Reduce the file size. Great. That's great. Put that in our sound effects folder. Cork pop. Now I need to find the folder where I put that. Right here, sound effects, cork pop. Cork pop. Wait. All right, we got it. Cork pop. I think that's all we need for this. That's a good move. It's simple, but effective. So that's not going to be enough, is it? Because there's 3 of them. Let's take the location where that's heading and bring that down a bit. So we're going to be primarily you're going to be hitting bombs with that move. And so it would make sense for us to kind of specifically attempt to get this to line up with the bombs better. Easy. Ow. Uh-oh. Get Molma out there. So she's got a decent setup here where she can get these bombs out that can deal additional damage later. Ow. If she can survive until later. Uh-oh. Jeez. So it's 2 damage plus a bomb. And then you use repair and blah, 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 blah. Okay, she's up front. I don't need much of this, but I'll certainly take it. Oh, that's bad. No, it's fine. Yeah, we're fine. The detonator, it's gonna be 2 damage. That's not gonna do it. There we go. Look, that guy's got 3 damage pending. Oh, but I can't let her go down. Get the cat out here. Ow. Meow. Okay. Get Mama out. Let her do 1 more, and then we detonate. What am I doing just playing a video game here? Is this my my secret way of getting to play a video game? Oh, I got 2 of them. Yeah, see, that's pretty good. Oh. Use it. Oh, come on. Really? For all that? Oh, GG, Moma. She's going down. Now, I haven't tested this in a while. I gotta make sure this still works. We should not see any partner health filtering down. Oh. Okay, just health. Just health. Oh, leaving a little on the table there. There we go. Oh, well, all right. Well, then now it's okay. We're good. Okay. Enemy directory. Get his other jump back in there. Does he need any other moves? He's cannon fodder. I'm hesitant to give him a 3rd move, but maybe. Not much else he can do, really. I think these guys are decently a problem. We can rebalance as necessary. We'll give him something. We'll make him 20 each. Maybe a juicy fight. No, realistically, you're going to be at level 10 10? Okay, typically a chapter 1 run, you get 3 levels up over the course of chapter 1. So you'd probably be at like level 7. So maybe I'll make these guys 18 each. Okay, now for the tricky thing. Now it gets tricky. We need the train fight. I want to have a nice little, I want to have a synergy with Molma's bombs. The idea that this thing is gonna like inhale air to like charge up a big blast, but if there are any bombs, then he chokes on it and loses his turn and takes the damage from the bombs. So you're encouraged to keep bombs on the field. So what can the train do? What are the how do we render this? How do we do this? Oh boy. Particle magic particle attractors? Let me try that. Let me try a particle attractor. Okay, to do this though, I have to specify that the train locomotive smoke actually reacts to that, right? I have to attractor interaction. Oh, it's already enabled. Okay. Well then. Good. Great. Wonderful. Oh, okay, it does work. Oh, it's attracting the sparkles. Okay, so that's something. Those sparkles need to not be attracted to that. All right, where is that gonna be? Wait, was that not particle process? It's not draw pass. I could have sworn that was in the particle it must be, yeah, hang on. No. Acceleration. There you go. Acceleration. Do these guys use the same one? Yeah. Good. Good. Whoops. Okay, so now I can make this like bigger, stronger. Stronger. Too strong. Okay, so we can do some silly stuff, I think. Oh yeah, we can do some silly stuff here. Like, we can turn these on and off for certain attacks. So if I did something like this, how do we make this work? How do I make it go up but then yeah, something like this to make it go through the players, like ow, 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 ow. Oh, nice, and turning off the visibility of it actually affects the... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's smooth. That's smooth. Okay. Okay. We got some things we can do with this, then. All right. Yeah, I can think of some things we can do with that. Smog attractor. No, smoke attractors. All right, and there we go. Now we can just kind of toggle that on and off when we want that attack to play out. Okay, I like that. New animation is the one. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so we can... Oh, where's our attractors now? They're over here. All right, we need the smoke to have a face. Tricky. Give me a pig. One pig on the train. Okay. So this is cool, but completely impossible to see. So can we push the camera holder out a bit, maybe? Well, not too much out. Down a bit would be good. 1.25. This seems like a reasonable place to set it. But that does mean that this face needs to be a lot smaller. But that's what we're trying to grasp right now is what's the scale of whatever face we draw for real. Okay, so this right here is a great spot for camera holder position. Oh, that's supposed to be autoplay. Oh, we already had it set up for this. Just adjust it slightly, but yeah. I already had it set up for that. To be nice and high up. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess let's build a big face on this thing. Close Audacity. We don't need that anymore. We completed tonight's big mission, which I'm proud of getting the snakes done. All right. Let's get this out of here. All right, let's do some draw over. Gray. This is going to be tricky because we're going to be lying about the perspective of this 3D model quite a bit. And I love lying to the player, but it's going to make things weird. So let's see here. Like, it could be as simple as something like this. You know. It's a good, like, wahahahahaha. Like that could be our boss right there. One thing I had as an idea, and we'll see if this goes well or not, is give him some, like, fake muscly smoke arms. Kind of like this. That we can, and then there'd be another one in the back, but like, kind of like that. That would, I guess they'd be rendered similarly to this, but they'd have to be rendered well in front. And in the back, and then we just kind of, we lie about where things actually are. Like, what if we had like full on, like, I'm gonna get you fingers. Hang on, that would be, big meaty fingers. Something vaguely like, yeah, like vaguely like that. Let's see, can I? Yeah, hang on. We're gonna just want to draw behind this guy a little bit. So can I just take that and plop that here? Okay, how about this? What about, just ignore the fact that the thumb is in the wrong side, but like, something like this. Like, that's doable. That's, I don't know exactly how we'll do the art. Those could be 2D. But though I bet there'd be a lot of wiggliness to it, but like, that's fine. But like this nice cloudy thing, and since this is unshaded, we don't have to worry about the color mismatching against a 2D, well, a Sprite 3D versus an actual model, textured model, because it's not really textured. It's unshaded, so that's perfect. We're doing cell shading. So then, what about this? Something kind of like more smoky. It's like, do like yellow eyes. That's threatening. Or actually, I like that. I like that a lot. And now, and if we give him hands, then we can do something with the hands. I don't know what. You can punch. Head and hands boss. Okay, now here's the big problem is, what are we attacking? Like, we're gonna walk across nothing and then strike the smokestack, I guess. I don't love that. Feels like I need to be able to walk over there. I could fake, like, oh, you know, there's some poles over that or something. Because the locomotive itself is pretty steady. So yeah, that might be. Let's see about that. let's mess with the locomotive a little bit here to add a little something. So we would have to, well, first off, we need to double check the animation player on this. Does this position? No, position can be messed with. Okay. Scale can also be messed with. Great. Okay, so we could just put like poles, some kind of like piping that, obviously the locomotive has some kind of piping over this. Of course it does. It always has. All locomotives have that. Naturally. It's just a part of it. It's just a part of locomotives everywhere. Well, of course. What would that look like? I know what it would look like. Pipes. Pipes. Oh, I changed my mind. Oh no, I changed my mind. Shoot, I didn't want to change my mind. But it done got changed. I've got some nice pipe models. Little pipe curved. Like that combined with, oh, this is the one right here. Just take this. Take this. Take this. Of course, it's the class. Oh, it's smoky in here. The classic set of pipes that go right around here. For some reason, don't worry about it. If I catch you worrying about it, oh boy. And then the curve one. Ah, there it is. Oh, there. Oh, okay, that's cool. Why does it look like that, huh? That's neat. Why does it look like that? Why does it look like that? Has it ever looked like that before? Let me take a look at that again. That looks... Why is it scaled that way? Something went very wrong. Apparently. With that one. That's so weird. Okay. That's just what it looks like. Okay, that's fine. See, that is not exactly what I would expect to see on a train. But perhaps with some convincing, we can make it look decent. Okay, uh-huh. Oh, neato. And then through here. Okay, that's very fine. It's very okay. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. That's not how trains would do. But you know what? It's like close, and it's within the realm of like, nah, it doesn't look quite like I would expect, but that's believable for a train to have random pipes sticking out of it and stuff. Like I could throw more pipes on it so it looks less out of place, you know? In fact, I think this needs more pipes on it so things look less out of place. Perfect. Looks real good there. Coming out of the back of the train. Yeah, that's not what trains look like, but we're going with it. We're going with it. Okay, so that's much better because now you've got some platform to allegedly walk across. Okay, good. See, that's good. That's good that we did that. Yeah, a platform to walk across. In fact, to mix it up a little bit, give it a little bit more flavor, let's get rid of this one and move these over here. See, now it's like, okay, yeah, there's things going on. And then you'll mostly be walking across these here. Yeah. Why is it plugged into the roof? Can anyone explain why it's plugged into the roof? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Actually, we could conceivably fit in another curve set here. Oh, but, okay. It's still doable. It's still doable, just trickier. I want something like that, and then get rid of this one. Squish it a bit. Mr. Mike, welcome in. Hello. See, there we go. It's a pipe that connects the thing to itself. Don't worry about it. Okay. That's really reasonable. Right, that's that one. That's fine. So then this one is the one that we're going to do something with. We're going to get rid of this and this. Move this down. We'll take this, we'll squish it, we'll squash it. Then we'll take this. We'll stretch it. Perfect. This also needs stretching. That needs a little bit more stretching to get into the train all the way. Copy it. Boom. Walkway. Okay, so the idea. I've got a pretty complicated smoke-based attack planned for this guy. One of the major mechanics of the party member that joins in this chapter is one that can throw bombs onto the battlefield and later detonate them whenever it's strategically advantageous to do so. And she actually kind of chucks out a few bombs just as a little bonus if you do her action command very well. The idea is this guy's going to have a big inhalation charge up. So he's going to like, and then he's going to like do a big burst of smoke out at you. But the idea, the fun little twist, is if there are bombs on the battlefield during that, they will get sucked up and do the typical video game thing of damage the boss because he inhaled your bomb. Gosh, that's such a common thing, isn't it? If a boss takes a deep breath, you're probably supposed to chuck something at them. So yes, there is something along those lines planned for what you were mentioning. Frog bile water. Grohl the Great. Old King Grohl was a merry old soul. All right. The pipes give us something to walk across so that we're not walking across air to attack the smokestack. Now, okay. So something vaguely like this, I think. Ignore the pig. Arms are optional, but I think they make it certainly more threatening, but maybe a little goofy. It certainly feels more capable if he has arms. This thumb on the wrong side is really, really getting to me. There, fixed. Yeah, because now you got something to walk across here, which is an improvement. And then a second pipe, so it looks like an actual walkway, and then a third pipe that's just decoration. So there's an actual battlefield. Okay, so moves. Inhale and then belch smoke. That's one. That's a two-parter. Tonight's mostly just planning, and maybe we'll do a little bit of art for getting the boss set up. We got that done. Well, not done. Yeah, two-parter. Inhale, exhale. It'll be more of like a... I don't know exactly what that'll be like. Burning smog can inflict burning damage. I think that's going to be a multi-hit. So this doesn't work as well as before, but I really like how this turned out. So check this out. This is cool. If I can line it back up again. Where's the lineup for this? Right around there. So we've got these attractors that we can turn on and off that cause the smoke to take a certain path. So I can just, mid-battle, this guy can just like, well, here we go. And then just, and then it'll be like 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage. And you'll be like, ow, that was a lot. Don't love that. And I really like, if we truly go with this decal effect, then the face is going to be like applied to the smog, to the smoke. and will sort of disappear as the smoke does, which is just a really fun little... Yeah, it just does that. Instead of like the face floating there while the smoke disappears, because I'm not going to try and track the smoke. That's unreasonable. We're just going to make it like a floating face that's going to draw to a decal, and that's just going to draw on whatever smoke particles happen to be there. Yeah, but the big smoke belch attack will be a little bit different looking. Okay. How do we want to do the... How do we want to do this? Well, that's going to be separate from the blowing smoke animation attack, where he spits out a bunch of smoke directly at you, because that's going to be more just like, you know, just an actual just. And this will be a separate attack that feels a bit more passive, but I want something nice and direct. All right, what else can we do here? If we stick with the arm design, we can do some kind of just big head and hands boss. Just he punches. He just fist down on ground. Oh, you know what would be cool? Okay, here's a fun idea. A little tell. All right. Big fist comes out, and he holds it over. He like alternates over the party members, or maybe more of just like a. And then after some number, 3 to 5, let's say, he smashes. But you're not going to know what the number is unless you're watching very closely and notice that as he's preparing to do the move, he's holding up that number of fingers. That could be fun. Reward the whoever's determining the tell. We'll combine that with an audio cue so you can count it along and know what counts as a... No. We got to get through this whole bottle in 20 minutes. Fist smash. The tell. Holding fingers up, matching countdown of wind up. Alternate potential targets. Maybe. The really silly thing here is that he could have one target that he could hit. Like if your partner is dead, then it's just Dabble is out there. But if you're both alive, then you got 2, and then we got to do different logic based on that, or just make it generic enough that it can work for any number of. I'm just gonna snooze the ad for the rest of the night. We're not doing any more pre-roll prevention because we're not gonna do too much more streaming. We got to be ready to get out of here pretty soon. I need to start looking into seeing who we could raid into. Who's doing Godot? What are you doing, Posey? She's rolling around on her back. What a silly, silly dog. There we go. That's it. That's what we want to see right there. Let's see here. Godot people. Oh yeah, I can just filter on Godot. Let's do that. Find a good raid target. And then just have them ready to raid into. Nothing immediately standing out, but we'll see. Okay. Do we want to do the drawing tonight? I mean, it's done. What am I talking about? The hands. Are the hands segments? Oh, I hate this. How are we going to do the hands? The fingers need to be individual if we're gonna do. Well, no, we could just have. Okay, don't I want them to kind of wiggle or something, or do I just want them to be static, floaty hands? Both are valid. Both are valid. I'm realizing this is standing out quite a bit. We might need to re-import. We might need to make some edits to the smokestack and re-import. Because you're going to be seeing it from slightly above, and you're going to see this big ol' like, oh, well, it's plugged up. So, cool. I know, right? I'm trying to decide if he's going to have wiggly fingers or not. I gotta do a little pro-con here. I want him to be able to hold up different numbers of fingers as a hidden tell for one of the attack timings, which doesn't necessitate wiggly fingers, because those could just be still frames of number of fingers. Wiggly. I'm snoozing this ad again. I'm just gonna keep. I'm using all my snoozes here. Pre-rolls are active. Sorry, anyone coming in. Wrigley. Yeah, we're not gonna start drawing this guy, but we do need to think about how to make these fingers. Like, they could all be a single sprite, and then we just overlay them a little bit. Thumb is somewhere in there. He needs to have probably a steady fist sprite for when he's going to do his big attack. So he'll hold out one fist and then have a number of fingers like hidden, where he's counting down until he slams down. So if you're watching, you can time it properly. If you're not watching, then you're just going to get hit with a big old attack. But I mean, it's only going to reward you with one damage blocked. But in a game like this, that can make a lot of difference. Okay, we'll try to make some wiggly fingers. We'll plan for wiggly fingers. I'm adding it here. Wiggly fingers. We'll do the actual animation and drawing and animation tomorrow. How are we gonna animate this stuff? One way is circles. Like, each arm is rendered in a viewport to flatten it out, and we just use priority so that these things can be fake cell shading, but they're really just 2D elements. Wiggly 2D elements. The other possibility, which would be scary, it's very scary, would be we actually do 3D cell shaded. I don't think that's the play here. I think we're gonna do this in 2D. Where effectively like that is a sprite that is getting generated. And we just have these individual little circles kind of wiggling a bit within themselves. But they don't actually have to be combined. They just need to be in roughly the correct spot. Let's keep that in mind. They don't have to be combined. As long as they're in about the right spot. Yeah, that'd be fine. He's a big guy. And we'll give him some big, like, surprised expression for when he takes damage. Ooh, actually. That's kind of nice. That's a little scary. See, this is just like, oh, he's an angry guy. And this is like, okay, he's completely unhinged. See, now he's spooky. Now he's spooky. He goes from just like, I'm a big, mean smoke cloud to... I don't want to look at that guy anymore. Get him out of here. Okay. Imp is still on. Imp is still on. Do we stream into Imp? What do we do here? What do we do here? Who has game? GQ's playing Crimson Desert. I've heard that that's a real game, and I know nothing about it, so I don't know. What are you working on? MH plus guns. What is MH? Is that Monster Hunter? Monster Hunter? Monster Hunter, maybe? I don't actually know what that could be. Nope, just a little cool little prototype going on in Godot. Loading zones. Love loading zones. Have we ever... Do we have any history? Oh, okay. No, Nujrank. It is Monster Hunter. I don't know a thing about Monster Hunter, but I guess we're going to learn some things tonight. Not a lot of things. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, Nujrank has raided in before. Yay, Dupu's here now. Bye, Dupu. Get lots of rest. You can play lots of Mario tomorrow. I'm trying to remember if there's any awful levels in Galaxy 2. I think Galaxy 2 had some really good design. And looking back, you can really see how it's bridging towards 3D World. 3D World being like these very Mario-y levels. I like 3D World a lot, to be fair. I really like 3D World. Thank you all for coming. Really appreciate it. Wednesday, we'll work on drawing this big guy and getting him in the engine. It's going to be great. Bye. Bye, lizards.